Your paycheck is disappearing faster than ever. You're making more money, but somehow, you're still getting poorer. If you don't fix this now, you could be losing thousands every year without even realizing it. Most people assume that getting a raise means they're better off. But the reality is that wages don't tell the whole story. In January 2025, the average hourly wage in the US increased by 4.1%, which sounds promising at first. Yet, with inflation sitting between 2.2% and 2.5%, your real wage gain is barely around 1% to 1.2%. And that's not all. Housing prices surged by as much as 6.5% last year in some areas, pushing rent and mortgage costs far beyond what most workers can afford. Meanwhile, healthcare premiums have jumped by 7.4% over the past 12 months, and staple food prices have risen by 3.8% to 5.2% year over year. Even though your paycheck might look bigger on paper, in reality, you're running in place, or even falling behind, while companies and policymakers ensure that your money never stretches as far as it used to. Companies know exactly what they're doing, and one of their sneakiest tricks is shrinkflation. Examples of shrinkflation are everywhere. You grab a bag of chips that looks the same, but there's more air inside. Your favorite orange juice? It comes in the same bottle but with a few ounces less. Even candy bars have been quietly shrinking while their prices remain unchanged. Think you're buying the same product? Think again. That bag of chips? More air? That orange juice? Smaller bottle? That candy bar? Tiny. Same price. It's called shrinkflation, and it's robbing you blind. Even candy bars have been quietly shrinking while their prices remain unchanged. According to a CNBC consumer report, over 58% of shoppers don't even realize they're paying more for less. And it isn't just in groceries. Airlines now charge extra for checked bags, carry-ons, and even seat selection, while restaurants serve smaller portions with the same price tag. Then there's the impact of higher interest rates. The Federal Reserve's aggressive rate hikes in recent years have pushed mortgage rates above 6.5% and credit card interest rates to a record high average of 22.8%. For millions of Americans, resuming student loan payments in 2025 means an extra $200 to $500 a month going straight out of their budgets. Borrowing money has never been more expensive, and every extra dollar paid in interest is a dollar that could have been saved. Think you're earning more? Think again. Your real wages versus inflation tell a different story, one that companies and policymakers don't want you to see. The reality of real wages versus inflation tells a different story. Think making more money means keeping more money? Think again. The tax system is rigged to take more from you as you earn more. It's called bracket creep, and here's how it's stealing your income. In 2025, the IRS adjusted federal tax brackets up by 2.8%, which is lower than last year's inflation rate. That means many workers who received cost of living raises have been pushed into higher tax brackets. So while your income increases on paper, you end up paying more in taxes. Then there's stealth taxation. Although the standard deduction increased to $30,000 for married couples and $15,000 for individuals, many tax credits like the child tax credit and earned income tax credit haven't kept pace with inflation. A report from the Tax Policy Center even shows that middle-class families are experiencing a faster rise in their effective tax rates compared to other income groups, all while federal deficits continue to climb. Even if your paycheck grows, that doesn't guarantee job security. Recent forecasts from the Bureau of Labor Statistics suggest that unemployment could creep up to around 4.2% to 4.5% by the end of 2025. Long-term projections warn that by 2035, wage growth might slow to just 2.9%, a rate that's hardly enough to keep up with the rising cost of living. At the same time, AI and automation are transforming industries at a rapid pace. A recent McKinsey report predicts that automation could replace up to 30% of routine jobs by 2030, putting additional pressure on job security and wage growth, especially in sectors like customer service, retail, and logistics. With consumer spending already showing signs of slowdown, retail sales dropped 1.8% in the first quarter of 2025. Businesses are tightening budgets, leading to further layoffs and stagnant wages. And don't forget, millions of Americans are now facing renewed student loan payments, further straining their monthly finances. So, what can you do to fight back? Understanding how to protect money from inflation is key to maintaining your financial security in these uncertain times. Most people make one critical mistake when trying to fight inflation, and if you don't avoid it, you could be losing thousands every year. I'll reveal this mistake at the end of this video. Understanding how to protect money from inflation is key to maintaining your financial security in uncertain times. You don't have to sit back and let your purchasing power disappear. One key strategy is investing wisely. ETFs like TIPS, Treasury Inflation-Protected Securities, are specifically designed to help protect your wealth from inflation. These government-backed securities adjust with inflation, so they maintain their value. Additionally, stocks, real estate, and gold have also proven to be strong hedges against inflation. For instance, TIPS are a great way to safeguard your savings because as inflation rises, so does the principal value of your TIPS, helping keep your purchasing power intact. Another important strategy is to use tax loopholes to your advantage. Maximizing contributions to your 401k, IRA, or HSA can reduce your taxable income and help you keep more of your money. Finally, work on reducing high-interest debt. Whether it's credit card balances or personal loans, every dollar you save on interest is a dollar that you can reinvest in your future. Let's take John, for example. John is a 35-year-old professional living in California. Last year, he felt the squeeze as his rent and healthcare premiums went up. After doing some research, he decided to invest in TIPS and moved part of his portfolio into real estate. By the end of the year, his investments had outpaced inflation, giving him more financial breathing room. John's story is a perfect example of how you can fight back. He didn't just sit back and watch as prices rose. He took action and made strategic moves to protect his wealth. Understanding inflation is just the first step. The next step is taking control of your money before you fall further behind. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Inflation explained in simple terms helps you recognize how it erodes purchasing power and what strategies you can use to stay ahead. The next step is taking control of your money before you fall further behind. Don't just watch, take action. Hit like if this video helped you, comment your biggest takeaway, and subscribe to Cashkeys so you never miss critical money updates. We break down complex financial issues in simple, actionable ways so you can make smarter moves with your money. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.